Hi everyone, Whitney Morrison here. I am the Director of Financial Advice at LifePlan LegalZoom, and I am a certified financial planner. I recently put on my LinkedIn asking for questions that you all may have around COVID-19, any financial concerns that you have coming up. In this video series, I am working with my team to provide quick, short, reliable answers for you to be able to navigate some of the complexities that are coming along due to this pandemic. So today I'm going to read a question from a dear friend about the Recovery Rebate Program. She asked, "Hey Whitney, I've got a good question for you. I was divorced last year, so I filed last week for my taxes as head of household. If they base my stimulus check on 2018 taxes, I might not get one, but if they base them on 2019 taxes, I'll definitely get one. I heard they might be out as soon as 3 weeks. I'm hoping I filed my tax return early enough to have my 2019 considered and not my joint married taxes of 2018 considered." And that's a great question. And yes, if you got your tax filed, you will be considered for your 2019 rebate instead of your 2018 taxes. I think one thing that's not clear about this taxpayer's recovery rebate is that it's actually supposed to be based off your 2020 numbers. But since they don't have those numbers yet and they want to get the stimulus checks out, they're going to go ahead and base your rebate checks on your 2018 or 2019 numbers. So what is it exactly is that going to look like for Americans? So I understand there's a lot of information out about this topic, but as I talked to my friends and my clients and our members at LifePlan, I understand that there's still a lot of confusion around truly how much you will get. So I want to show you all some examples so you can understand, okay, how this rebate program is actually going to work, even though it's based off of your 2018 or 2019 numbers. How is that going to be reconciled for 2020 taxes? And also, I also want to show how some people may really benefit from this and how some people may not benefit from this. So I put together just a quick presentation to go over the Recovery Rebate Program. If you have any questions, please comment in the video notes below, and me or someone from my team will get back to you as soon as we can. All right, let's learn about the Taxpayers Recovery Program. Okay, great. So the Taxpayers Recovery Rebate Program, just to begin, I'll give a quick overview. So what exactly is this? So this is a refundable income tax credit against 2020 income of up to $2,400 for married couples filing a joint return, while all other filers begin with a refundable credit of up to $1,200. The credit amount increases by up to $500 for each child the taxpayer has under the age of 17. One quick thing I want to point out here is it is an income tax credit against your 2020 income. However, the preliminary amounts are going to be distributed off of your 2018 or 2019 income, whatever tax return you have already filed, to the IRS when they start actually distributing this rebate. So the first thing that I want you to do is just start by calculating your maximum rebates. There are reductions, but the best place to start to figure out your amount is figure out your maximum rebate. So here are some examples. So single taxpayers, like I said, get $1,200 plus $500 per child. Married couples get $2,400 plus $500 per child. So you'll begin by calculating your maximum rebate. And as your income begins to exceed applicable thresholds, the rebate program begins to phase out. So for every $100 in taxpayers' income that exceeds these thresholds below, you'll reduce your recovery rebate by $5. So if you filed in 2018 or 2019 as married filing jointly and you have over $150,000, your rebate will begin to phase out. And the same applies for head of household at $112,500 and all other filers at $75,000. So this can be kind of complex because of a couple things. One, this income tax credit is based off of 2020 income. However, they're looking at 2018 and 2019. As we all know, 2020 might be a difficult year for a lot of people. So there is a chance that your rebate is going to be based off of your 2018 or 2019 numbers that may be much higher than your 2020 numbers. So let's look at a couple of examples to really understand how this rebate is going to be calculated, what to expect, and for those of you who do unfortunately fall into the category where you had normal years in 2018 and 2019, how you will end up getting your tax credit in 2020. So example number one, let's look at Whitney and Craig. They filed a joint tax return, married filing jointly in 2019. Their income is $199,000 and they have 4 kids. So remember, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at their maximum potential rebate, which is $4,400, pretty self-explanatory here. But then we are going to discount that by the amount of money they are earning above the threshold. So in 2019, they made $199,000. So they're going to have $49,000 that is over the threshold, which actually reduces their benefit to $1,950. Now, let's say Whitney and Craig have a really great 2020. They make $250,000 in 2020. Will they have to give that money back at the end of 2020, given that this tax credit is actually supposed to be based off of their 2020 returns? And the answer is no. So Whitney and Craig, even though they have a great year in 2020, they get to have an even better year by keeping this rebate of $1,950. Now, it works a little bit differently if somebody is on the flip side of the coin. So let's look at Jessica. She's a single taxpayer with 2 children. She made $150,000 in 2018 and $65,000 in 2019. She hasn't filed her 2019 tax return, but hopes to get it filed as soon as possible. So what's the first thing Jessica's going to do? She is going to calculate her maximum potential rebate and then start to reduce the rebate based on her returns. Now, will her income be calculated off of 2018 or 2019? And that depends on how soon she files her 2019 return. And for someone like Jessica, it's really important for her to file that 2019 return as soon as possible. And let me show you why. So in 2018, she had a great year. She made $150,000. So if the IRS is looking at this recovery rebate based off of her 2018 numbers, she's actually going to get 0. She's not going to get any stimulus from the government. If she goes ahead and files that 2019 tax return, because she made significantly less, $65,000, she will get her full rebate of $2,200. So let's say worst case, Jessica does not get in that 2019 tax return in time, and she just is based off of the 2018. So she gets 0 because her income was above the threshold. And let's say that 2020 turns out to be a really rough year for Jessica. She gets laid off. She only makes $40,000. That means she is not going to receive the recovery rebate until she files her taxes at the end of 2020, and it shows that her AGI was $40,000. So for someone like Jessica, this is a complex situation. She really needs that money because she was laid off and she had a low income, and she's unable to get it until the end of 2020 when the credit is actually adjusted. So it is, in a lot of ways, this is a big help to Americans, but in a lot of ways, it's actually really, it's really difficult because people who really need this money may not be able to get it until the end of 2020. So as far as you, in terms of how much money you will get, most immediately, look at your 2018 or 2019 tax returns. Ideally, we want to be operating off the lower of the 2 incomes. So please keep that in mind when you're thinking about your recovery rebate and when to file your taxes. Okay, if you have a bad year in 2020, but 2018 and 2019 were great, unfortunately, you will not receive this credit until the end of 2020. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. If you do have any more questions about any of the CARES Act or the recovery programs or how to budget your money right now or general financial planning tips during this time, please reach out to me, comment below in the video, whatever is easiest for you. Just want to make sure we're able to get all of your questions answered. Thanks so much for watching and more videos to come. Bye-bye.